The final organ of the lymphatic system that we are going to talk about is the spleen. Now, the spleen is an unpaired organ located in the upper left abdominal quadrant. So it's immediately inferior to the diaphragm on the lateral border of your abdominal cavity. It's a dark red organ, and it receives blood from the splenic artery. Like lymph nodes, the spleen is made up of reticular connective tissue. And because of that, it has a very similar function to lymph nodes. And looking at the anatomy of the spleen, we can see that it is made up of two regions. One of the regions is called white pulp, and the other region is called red pulp. And this correlates with the spleen's functions. So the spleen has two functions. First of all, in the white pulp, the spleen's job is to filter the blood for pathogens. Remember, a lymph node filters lymph for pathogens. So that excess fluid is taken up by those lymphatic capillaries, and then lymph will pass through lymph nodes on its way back to the cardiovascular system. When it passes through those lymph nodes, any kind of pathogen that is present in lymph will ideally be eradicated before it has a chance to get to the blood. If a pathogen is in your blood, that does pose danger to the body. In its most serious form, a blood-borne infection is called sepsis. However, if the pathogen makes it to the blood is filtered in the spleen. So via the splenic artery, blood enters into the spleen. And specifically in the white pulp, where there are many lymphocytes present, any blood-borne pathogen would be identified and ideally, again, eradicated. So it's very similar to a lymph node, except that it filters your blood for pathogens. A sort of totally different function of the spleen is in the red pulp. The red pulp, a very specific region of the spleen, filters your blood for old and defective red blood cells. Red blood cells lack a nucleus, and because they lack a nucleus, they are unable to replicate, they are unable to repair themselves, so they have a lifespan. That lifespan is about 120 days, but in your bone marrow, you're constantly making new blood cells, and so that 120 days is fine. It's not detrimental to your health. So when old and defective red blood cells get to the spleen, the red pulp of the spleen is the location where those old red blood cells are broken down, removed, recycled, so that they don't remain in your blood. So the spleen is very straightforward, two very specific functions and some pretty straightforward anatomy.